Quarterback in the league. Oh, what a catch by Jay Nathaniel. Touchdown, Hurricane!
Shooter take a shot deep. Open target. Got it. From left to right. Sets off. Oh,
Down!
watch him. He's going to step. He's going to go for the... It fell from the sky into air and ice hit.
Welcome to College Station. The Missouri Tigers taking on the Texas A&M Aggies here on this Wednesday night showdown. Again, welcome to College Station. Welcome to the CFSL here on PX1 Sports. My name is Jathan Gentry. With me in the booth is Ryan Recca. Ryan, both teams coming off competitive losses last week. I'm sure both teams are going to want to come out hungry to get this victory.
Yes, sir, brother. We'll see which team has what it takes and has that drive and determination to finish out this game and notch their win coming off that loss, as you mentioned last week.
So we're going to see Missouri's offense up first here, as both of these teams, like we said, looking for that first win of season 15. Terry Williams, the second, going to be a big part of that offense. I think one of these things that we just got to see is who gets momentum rolling early, who can get the plays, start to move downfield quickly. And Missouri's going to have that chance to start. So a bunch formation up top, one in the backfield with the quarterback rolling back, trying to find some space. He's going to go all the way to the sideline, catching a block. Huge play, shaking off defenders, finally slides down. What a play here from this offense to start.
Perfect execution and a big confidence booster for these Missouri Tigers as they opened up that game with that huge run. It came from none other than Kolakovic. He was great last season on the ground like that and made always good sound decisions. So we'll see if we can keep it up for the rest of the game.
One play, and they're already out across midfield here. As you can see, we got a little bit of rain falling. The wind is kicking up. might make it tough on these offenses tonight. We'll see if that continues. Ahmed Kolakovic, 0 for 1 on his first pass. That one's going to fall down.
I'm not too mad at the play call. Obviously, Chalakovic was able to see a wide receiver and try to put it in his hands, but maybe the rain had something to do with it.
Second down, going to pass is Chalakovic over the middle, finds a man, beats him on the route. That's Alex Morris. Quickly, Missouri continues to move down the field.
Good stat padding there early for Morris. Obviously, he was able to run his route perfectly and maintain possession with the ball and get a great first down.
Missouri offense looking to kick things into high gear early in this game. Like we talked about at the beginning, whoever gets momentum early, got to feel good starting out this ball game, especially in this type of weather. Get as much of points as you can, as they're going to hand the ball off for the first time tonight, right up the middle. That's Ziegler, 10 yards, and another first down for the Tigers.
Missouri's doing everything they need to do with this opening drive, trying to make that statement against this Texas A&M defense, and they just need to keep the momentum up and try to score.
First and 10 right here on the goal line, throwing it over the middle. Another good catch. That's Terry Williams in traffic. 3 yards on that one. Second and 7 upcoming.
3 yards is 3 yards. I'd rather take that positive momentum, move forward closer towards that goal zone than go backwards.
Exactly. I agree with you, Ryan, there. 3 yards can make a big difference right up here next to the goal line, as one broken tackle is all it's going to take. Travis Clark, 8 yards, and he waltzes into the end zone. Missouri takes the early lead.
Clark made that look easy. He was able to shrug off that first defender and kind of out-muscle him, and then he had a clear open way to the end zone, and Missouri's up quick here.
7-0. Extra point is up good, so the Tigers taking the early lead, 7-0. We saw them come out like we talked about at the beginning of the game, Ryan. We just need to see one of these teams get momentum. Now Texas A&M's got to do the same thing.
Absolutely. It's pretty early in the game, so if you're only down 7, it's not so much of a huge deal, but they got to show that they can answer back and hold this Missouri D accountable and get some points on them.
Well, Allen will be up to lead this team. Let's see if this offense can match what the Missouri offense did on their first drive. We'll start under center. Will Allen dropping back, looking for space, throwing it over the middle, and he will have a completion there to J.B. Bell. That is 8 yards to start out.
Great decision and obviously a great throw. Allen was able to pick up that pass, and get close to that first down and make it second and manageable.
Setting yourself up well on second down, big part of the game, as he throws a dime of a pass to the sideline. Grigley there, quick 16 yards, and both of these offenses moving well early, Ryan.
I like the tempo that Tim comes out here spreading. They obviously went to the sideline. They saw that they had an open receiver and made the defense pay. Picked up some big yardage.
Definitely seemed like he was wide open down the sideline. Huge play there. Trying to match what Missouri did on their first drive with a good touchdown drive. So Allen coming back out. He'll be under center once again. 2 wide receivers set. He's going to hand it off right up the middle. Trying to break a couple of tackles is Grigley, and he'll get 3.
That wasn't a bad determination. Obviously, he was trying to make something work out of it. Just couldn't get anything past more than a couple yards.
Like you said, you'll take 3 rather than going backwards. So second and 7, setting themselves up well here. They're going to do the same thing right up the middle, but I think that one is going to be coming back.
Not sure I agree with trying to replay that same call, especially since it only got them 3 yards from prior, but I think they lucked out with that defensive penalty there.
You're right there. It was a defensive penalty, so a mistake by Missouri early, and can't make that a habit or it's going to cost you, Ryan.
I think it's just that early game jitters, and Missouri's going to settle in there and obviously try to put the lockdown on the Aggies.
Let's see if Texas A&M can take advantage. Free 15 yards, and they're going to run it again. 3 run plays back to back to back. This time, seems like the Tigers figuring out what's going on. They get him right at the line of scrimmage.
Not surprised with how that play played out. Obviously, Grigley was in a sea of white right there and was able to kind of spin off one tackle, but couldn't get much going.
Second down and 10 after no gain on first. Allen decides to drop back and pass. Really good quick pass there. Gets rid of it quickly. J.B. Bell is there, and third down will be easier now.
That's exactly what Texas A&M needed to try to shorten the gap right there and close inside the red zone. Pick up that third and manageable, like you said, and it should be an easy conversion for them.
Third down and short here. They've been going to the run game a lot. They got one man coming in motion. Let's see if they go to it here. They will not. Allen's going to drop back to pass. Quick pass over the middle. Great strike. J.B. Bell yet again. He's been a big part of this offense early, and it'll be first and goal.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Bell's obviously running this defense a little ragged over that middle of the field right there and making his routes perfectly timed and is able to make the defense pay.
All right, let's see here. Lining up, 1st and goal, inside the 5, trying to close the gap. Early 7-point lead for the Tigers, and they're trying to even it up. Handoff right up the middle, and quickly, Andrew Grigley, 4 yards, touchdown, and pinning the extra point. Texas A&M going to tie it up.
Great credit goes to that offensive lineman right there. They were able to hold their blocks and give Grigley basically pretty much a walk in the park right there so that they can answer back and tie this ball game up.
Tie game now 7-7. Both quarterbacks coming out and leading their teams well. As I don't know if you guys noticed, but Terrell Allen is wearing number 12 tonight. He is Texas A&M's 12th man, so keep an eye on him. Team's going to be looking to him, obviously, as the quarterback, but as the 12th man to lead his team to victory tonight. As we're going to see Missouri back on offense here, what have they done well so far in this game, Ryan?
I think they had a little bit better tempo compared to Texas A&M. They were both pretty quick on their feet, but Missouri seemed to be a little bit more decisive in the play calling they did and switching up that run and pass. And Texas A&M kind of struggled holding them that first drive.
1st and 10. Nobody in the backfield. Throwing it out is Kolakovic to Ziegler, 7 yards. 2nd and 3 upcoming.
You can see the trust that they obviously have. He knows that if he's going to get Ziegler open, that Chalakovic is going to be able to most of the time complete that pass, and he came down with the reception and some nice yardage.
Chalakovic lining up in the pistol formation now, 1 man behind him, and he will hand it off, running straight down the middle of the defense is Ziegler, and a good run play there.
Ziegler's, you got to watch out for him with his dual threat. He can obviously run the ball, catch the ball as well, and Texas A&M's really going to have to zone in on him if they want to try to stop this progression.
Definitely a dangerous weapon for the Tigers. Let's see how they continue to get him involved, but not on this play. Great strike off that quick little in route from Alex Morris, and Missouri trying to pick up off what they did on the first drive.
Morris did great off the line and was very explosive, but it seems both teams to be struggling trying to cover the middle of the field.
1st and 10 after the huge play there. This is going to be a play-action pass. Chalakovic got a lot of time. He's going to throw it all the way across the field. Good connection to Stone Bryant, and another 8 yards.
It's a good hit by the Texas A&M defender right there. I didn't quite catch the number, but it was a good kind of sideline tackle, making sure he didn't actually get that first down, and they could try to stop him and get another stop here.
You're right. There's a lot of space in front of him, so good open field tackle there on the sideline as a quick pass. They know where the first down marker is. They knew they just needed to get to it. Steve Seuss does a good job to get there.
Seuss's first catch of the game, but obviously it came in there where it mattered most. They were able to reset the chains and obviously keep that momentum going up, and now they're on the right side of the 40.
Close game over on Twitch right now. Bama leading Tennessee 13-10 right now. So make sure you're checking all the CFSL action. Don't miss anything. Keep both of these games going as we got a screen play here out to Ziegler. Not a ton of space. Texas A&M closed quickly.
It was a great pass. Obviously, Ziegler was able to come down with it. I'm not a huge fan of those screens myself, but obviously when they work, they work. So hopefully maybe later on in the game, if they try it again, they'll get better yardage.
Taking the handoff here, play action pass. Those in routes, like you said, Ryan, have been working all night so far. That's Bastille LaRue on the 13-yard catch. They just keep on moving.
First catch for LaRue as well, and obviously Chalakovic has more than enough weapons on offense between his wide receivers and Grigsby at halfback that he can, take advantage and make most of the field.
It seems like these screens, they're Cease again, 8 yards on this one, but those screens, they're just getting good blocks on the edge.
Yeah, there's great blocks. Obviously, it's not just up to the wide receivers and everything like that. Got to make sure that the offensive lineman and everybody else who doesn't get the ball makes those key blocks, and that's exactly what Mizzou's doing right now.
Play action pass yet again, throwing over a couple defenders, fighting his way into the end zone. Steve Cease, touchdown. And just like that, Missouri takes the lead back.
Great throw by Chalakovic, and obviously an even better throw by Cease. And you saw that little stat line down there. Obviously, Chalakovic has only missed one pass so far, and most of those I would probably argue either were those screens right there or those passes over the middle. So he's having himself a near perfect game so far in the first.
3 drives so far, and all of them have resulted in a touchdown. If you're Missouri now, your offense is clicking. You got to go out there and get a stop defensively against this Texas A&M offense.
Yeah, we've been saying it earlier, obviously, when we're talking about where these quick slant routes are going over the middle of the field. We'll see if they can make the adjustments and kind of cover that center field so that they can take away some of that progression that Tamu showed on their last drive.
Coming out under center is Allen, the 12th man, like we talked about. Let's see what they like to do. Looks like Missouri bringing a little bit of a blitz here, or at least showing it. But under center, 2 wide receiver set. Blitz comes, picked up well. They're throwing an out route. Great catch over a defender. Finally forced out of bounds. J.B. Bell, he's been a huge contributor here early, Ryan.
Bell made a great cut, as you see, and then you'll see him, Mizzou defender kind of pass him, go in the opposite direction. I think he either was maybe trying to cover somebody else, but that was just a good play call by Texas A&M and way to disrupt the defensive play calling right there on the field.
1st and 10 coming up out of it, trying to continue the fireworks that we've seen so far in the first quarter. Touchdowns on every drive. Don't want to be the team that doesn't score first, so Texas A&M trying to match the energy here. Handoff up the middle. Great blocking, even better run there from Grigley to find 13 yards.
Grigley was so explosive off that whistle, and he did a great job following his blocks, exactly how they probably practiced dozens of times in practice, and they were able to make sure that they made the defense pay for that.
And comes in motion, setting up here. Play action pass. Allen got a lot of time in the pocket. Finally throws it to the sideline. Good catch there from Ja'Cory Davis. 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2.
I like how you were talking about a lot of time there. I almost sent him down my steak order because he looked like he was in the kitchen cooking up some meals.
He did. My man had all the time in the world, did a crossword puzzle and everything. This time, though, not as much time, has to throw that one away.
Great pressure by the Missouri defense here, obviously forcing that throwaway, but it was a good decision, and nobody should be mad at that throwaway so that they can kind of survive this 3rd down.
Still 3rd down and 2, so they set themselves up well on 1st down. It'll be a little run play, looked like a jet sweep, but man, Missouri coming in quick all over it. It'll be 4th down.
Nothing going there. It wasn't really full in Missouri, and I think maybe there was even possibly a bad cut down there, but I think the pressure was just too much to them, and that's a big statement right there for that Missouri defense, holding Texas A&M to no points.
But they're going to go for the fake. What a call, and it does not pay off. You put the ball in the punter's hands, try to get him to make a play. It just doesn't work out there, but I like the chance here early in the 1st.
I do like the trickery. I definitely was not expecting that. They're only down 7 points, but I like the tenacity from that play call. It just didn't work in their favor.
1st and 10. They knew that the way Missouri's offense is scoring, they got to try to keep up, but that one just doesn't go in their favor. So Missouri back on offense here. Dangerous throw into traffic there, but it works out. Bastille LaRue, another catch, and Missouri continues to move quickly.
Dangerous throw, but it's probably, LaRue's down there making it look easy. He was able to make sure that he made that play happen and get some extra yardage and reset the chains even on that first play.
You said it earlier, but it's still true. Chalakovich only 1 incomplete pass so far, and there is the broadcaster jinx as he throws his 2nd.
Yep, good job by Avery, the 2nd right there for his first deflection in the game. We'll probably see that as an ongoing theme for that Texas A&M defense throughout the game.
4 wide receivers set, 1 in the backfield with Chalakovich, finding some time and then dumps it off there, but Ziegler not able to stay in bounds.
One of the reasons why I hate watching those screens get called is most of the time the receivers can't really keep themselves in bound with that forward momentum, and you're going to end up with plays like that where you lose yardage because they step out of bounds.
Yeah, dangerous play there right on the sideline, not able to stay in bounds, and they're setting up a screen. You said you didn't like it. Here it comes, and trying to set up, and this one's going to work to perfection, and breaking tackles is Ziegler. Ryan, you make a good point. A lot of those screens don't set up well, but every once in a while you hit one for a big play.
I must have spoke a little too loud, and Ziegler probably heard me down there because he said, "Watch me, I can do this the right way." And he had absolutely perfect blocking all the way down there and made Texas A&M punish Texas A&M for sending all the pressure to the quarterback.
Huge play there to set them up right at the start of the red zone now, as Alabama getting a pick 6 over on Twitch. They're leading now 27-10. So stay in touch with that one as well as Chalakovich comes back out, throwing the out route, just jukes a defender and continues running. What a play there. 1st and goal for the Tigers.
Everybody aboard the Cease and Chalakovich train, because this is going to be a long ride for Texas A&M if they can't get these tackles and defend these passes.
Yeah, like you said, it's just Cease seemingly open on most of the plays that we've seen them run tonight, and Chalakovich doesn't care. He's going to throw it to him every single time if he can. And just like that, inside the 5, they're going to run right up the middle. Great blocking. Travis Clark could have walked into the end zone, but he gets 7. Missouri extends their lead.
I absolutely love this call to run it straight up the middle. They've had Texas A&M on their backs almost the entire time, throwing their way downfield with these screens and kind of making them back off, and they made them pay with just an easy run up the middle for some more points.
And just like that, Missouri leading now 21-7 over the Texas A&M Aggies. It's funny because it's just been one drive that they didn't score, and that's been the whole difference in this ball game so far, Ryan.
They got to calm down. Obviously, like you said, it was just one drive that they missed. The game's not too far away from them there, but we've seen what Missouri can do in past seasons, especially last year. Once they get that momentum and that ball rolling, we know that that is everything. So Texas A&M really needs an answer here on this drive.
Starting out with the screen, but it just didn't set up, so Allen just gets rid of it.
Allen's not doing too bad either, as you saw. He was 6 for 8. He's got almost, he's approaching the 100-yard mark with a couple more passes, and he's making better decisions with some throwing away with that pressure. So he's just got to make sure he finds those receivers and puts it in their hands.
Tight end comes in motion. Allen dropping back to pass under some pressure, gets rid of it quick because of the pressure. JB Bell will get 6, third and four upcoming.
I think that's a good answer in what Texas A&M wanted in that situation. They wanted to close the gap and get closer to that chain and make it, third and manageable.
3rd and 4, under a minute left here in the first quarter as Allen drops back, looking for time, but he can't get rid of it. Huge play to get pressure for the Tigers.
That was just a great answer by the Tigers this time, putting that pressure on Allen. Obviously, he really had nowhere to go, and I don't even think he really saw the 2 defenders until it was too late. He had no chance to throw that ball away, and they made them pay and gave them, a huge loss of yardage to save that drive.
Yeah, if you're Missouri now, you got to be smelling blood in the water because earlier, Texas A&M drives down, gets a touchdown, but then you get a couple of drives back-to-back where you force them to punt it. So if you can get points here, you can start to get some separation.
Absolutely. And talking about points and separation, I think if Missouri scores here, Texas A&M might be in trouble.
Definitely. Well, early in the game, so still anything can happen, but you're right. 1 touchdown here, and you're looking at an early 21-point deficit. So got to take advantage of this opportunity if you're Missouri. Continue to pile on the points as they throw to a wide-open man in the flat. Who else just making people miss? Steve Cease, another huge catch.
Cease does exactly what he needs to. He runs an extremely well-run route. He's close to the sideline. He obviously jukes right there, cuts back in, and he still can't go down with the tackle and get shoved out of bounds. I don't think if you don't stop him this game or the next couple drives and try to get his patterns cracked down, he's just going to make you pay every single time.
He sure will. Let's see if Texas A&M starts to key in on him defensively as throw into the sideline here. Another catch. That's Cease. Just 4 yards on this one.
Chipping yardage, positive direction, obviously. I'm not mad at that call. It's tough, like you said, those are dangerous throws when you throw to the sideline, but when you give it to Cease, it's good as gold.
Well, that's going to be the end of it for the first quarter. Missouri leading 21-7 over the Aggies right now. Everybody stay tuned. You're watching the CFSL here on PX1 Sports on Twitch. Back to the action as Missouri, right at the start of the red zone here, looking to put more points on the board. Looking for space is Chalakovich, but finally there, Texas A&M not able to get pressure early, but they fight through the blocks and finally get the sack.
Good job by Lawrence making his way to Chalakovich and obviously making him pay, getting his first sack of the game. But also credit that Texas A&M defense secondary right there because they made sure that none of the wide receivers were open and Chalakovich really had nowhere to go.
Cody Lawrence was there. A couple of others got in there as well. So good job defensively to make sure nothing was happening there, both in the secondary and on the line. 3rd and 8 now for the Missouri Tigers. Is back to pass is Chalakovich trying to fit it in right there at the edge, and LaRue able to get the catch and stay in bounds, but not enough for the first.
Good awareness by LaRue, like you said, staying in bounds. I'm not mad at this call here as they try to kick the field goal and get some guaranteed points, but I would have liked to see them maybe try to, stick it to Texas A&M a little bit more and go for it on 4th and 1.
And just like that, the pretty short field goal, I think, was missed. Just not able to get it there, pushed it a little bit to the right, and Texas A&M got to like what their defense did right there.
That almost gave me flashbacks from the Florida State game earlier this week when I think their kicker missed a field goal in that exact same fashion at about the same time.
Yeah, only 2 yards coming here on this play. 2nd and 8 coming up after that first down play there. As Texas A&M coming right back here looking to improve off their last drive where they had to punt it away. I formation here, 2 wide receivers set and taking their sweet time. Surveying the defense is Allen, and finally he decides to hand it off. Some good blocks up front. He's got 4 yards of space. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up.
Good effort by Grigley, and that's going off that previous drive. That's exactly what Texas A&M needed to stay in this game was that missed field goal, so they need to capitalize this and score some points.
Yeah, big opportunity here coming off missed points for Missouri. Dropping back to pass here on a big third down is Allen running away from the pressure, trying to find some room and can't get away. Brought down. That'll be another kick situation here.
It looks like he did, everything that he could on that drive, trying to get away and trying to throw that ball away last minute. But just like that, in a blink of an eye, Texas A&M comes up short, and it's a very, very quick drive, ended way too early.
And Missouri also going to have a really, really good field position. Terry Williams bringing them close to midfield. So Missouri not only winning on offense, but winning in the special teams game, it seems right now.
Absolutely, and there's going to come a time when obviously we're only early in the second here, but you keep that Texas A&M defense on the field, and they're going to keep getting tired.
Definitely as good protection here, throwing over the middle, but even better coverage on the backside. Tarius White making sure that one hits the turf.
Worst case scenario, obviously they would have gave up the pass, but best case scenario, Texas A&M came down with that solid secondary coverage, like you said, and were able to get a pass deflection.
3 wide receiver set, throwing it deep is Chalakovich, but great coverage, and he's there for the pick. And just like that, our first turnover of the game, and Texas A&M takes it right back.
Yeah, just an absolute great interception by Kyrie Mathis. He obviously knew exactly where that ball was going to go. It was a little bit underthrown. Texas A&M needed that to kind of flip the chains here and get some momentum going. I think Chalakovich was a little bit too comfortable.
What a play there. Clatarius White, back-to-back plays. He knocked that one down and then got the interception. So he's taking matters into his own hands defensively right there. And Texas A&M glad to have another chance at it here with good field position. But the first run not going to happen. He's going backwards.
That pressure right down there by Jar Martinez and that just tenacity of this Missouri defense is not what Texas A&M was looking forward to. And I'm sure they made special, practice adjustments leading up to the game this week.
Under center in this one is Allen. 2 guys behind him, but he's going to drop back and pass. A dangerous throw right into the hands of the waiting defender. And these teams trading turnovers back-to-back.
That's exactly what Missouri wants in this situation, obviously. He made that dangerous throw, and most of the time when you make a dangerous throw, you're going to pay for it. I don't think he really saw number 5 there. He just kind of saw his open wide receiver over the top and tried to hit Davis Jr., and it didn't work out.
Johnny tipped him with an interception. Huge play there to take the momentum right back. Handing it up the middle. There goes Ziegler, a tough runner, and he's running guys over. Quickly 11 yards and a first down.
Great run, obviously, by Ziegler. And as you see there, he's averaging over 8 yards a carry, which is great. We should probably see if they can use him a little bit more on. But Chalakovich is doing great enough in the air. I don't think they really needed to rely on it.
2 wide receivers looked like they just kind of ran into each other there. Didn't know who the ball was going to, so it falls incomplete. As over on YouTube, or over on Twitch, 37-10. Bama pulling up a little bit of a lead here as over here, Texas A&M getting some pressure, able to drag him down there. 3rd and super long coming up.
Not what you see normally from Chalakovich. Obviously, that pressure was coming in nice and tight. You would have expected that he would have thrown the ball away, but that just gives credit to that Texas A&M defense and the speed that they have on these blitzes.
3rd and super long here. Texas A&M likes what they've done so far defensively. Got to close it out with a good play here on 3rd. There's Missouri setting up for the screen, but Texas A&M all over it. Multiple guys there for the tackle, and it'll be 4th down.
That tricky 3rd and screen that finds its way too much, or much more often than we would like, but that's just a good coverage by Texas A&M and an even better result, obviously forcing them to go 3 and out so that they don't capitalize off that interception.
Yeah, 2 turnovers, 1 for each team. And it's funny, when you look at the scope of a ball game, those turnovers you got to capitalize, right? And so neither team able to capitalize with points off the turnover. And now the momentum seemingly kind of has evened out. And Texas A&M, even though you're down 2 scores, your defense playing a lot better now, and you've got the football back.
They're settling into the game, like you had said. If they had scored a game and it became a 21-point deficit, that's something that's very difficult to come back from. So I think they're teetering on that and wanting to use those momentum shifts. And obviously, when their defense holds up, their offense wants to now get rejuvenated and get some points on the board.
Exactly, and we see that momentum continuing right here. Jafari Davis, first play, and he gets a first down.
Nothing but a textbook play coming out of Texas A&M. Obviously, that's their first play of that drive, and it ends in perfection.
Good start there to the drive as Allen drops back to pass, throwing it over the middle yet again. Same route it looked like to Jafari Davis. This time gets 9.
Both of these teams are obviously keeping up that tempo with these slot routes kind of over the middle and abusing the secondary, making sure that if they're in that zone coverage or anything like that, they're going to pick them apart.
Yeah, both teams at points definitely finding the holes in the zones for sure. And Texas A&M unapologetically saying, if that works, we're going back to it back to back. So 2 plays in a row, and Allen going to throw deep on the out route here. This is a really, really good play. J.B. Bell, another great reception for 20 yards.
Great job by Bell being able to run that route and get open. Even better throw by Allen, and that's exactly what Texas A&M needed here to kind of shorten that distance to the goal line.
Good play there, and Texas A&M moving very swiftly here on this drive, trying to cut this 14-point deficit for Missouri down a little bit. They're going to be in the shotgun here, 3 wide receivers set. Play action pass over the middle, but the defender is right where he needs to be. Good play there from Missouri.
Not sure I like that call. There might have been some other wide receivers that were open if he had a little bit more time to let that play develop, but that's a dangerous call with a Missouri defender in an Aggie's face.
Wes Finney was there on the coverage. Good play there as Missouri back-to-back huge plays here. Going backwards there, and that's Finney again.
Nothing going there. Obviously, Grigley tried to bounce out to the outside. You know, no discredit to him, but Missouri was ready for him and it made them pay.
Third down and long here now, as they're going to go 3 wide receivers set, running the backfield with Allen, dropping back to pass, got some good protection, throwing it short, trying to let his man make a play, and gets close, does Grigley, but not close enough. Looks like they'll either have to kick a field goal or go for it here.
I think I agree with the points on here. You know, you set it up there, and then it's just a 2-possession game, trying to make 2 touchdowns later on if you can hold Missouri on the next couple drives.
Back-to-back missed field goals. It's crazy. Both of these teams trading turnovers, neither team able to get points, and both teams now with a missed field goal. It seems like we saw tons of offense early, and now things are just kind of leveling out. The defense is trying their best, and a couple mistakes on both sides. And just like that, Missouri with another chance here offensively, throwing it out of the backfield to Ziegler. They'll get 7 yards. That's a successful first down play.
Absolutely. Like you said, I think at first, that first quarter, they were kind of just getting all their jitters out and making sure that their pregame stuff was on point. And now that they're kind of settling into the game, they're trading the blows, and this could make it for a very long game if this keeps up the way it's going.
Aguilar with his 6th tackle of the game, having a show so far, and another great open field tackle on Ziegler there to cut him down. 3rd and 7 coming up.
Nothing to complain about there. Obviously, Trey Jackson had Ziegler's number, saw him as soon as he made that catch right there, and was great, available there, and made that effort to get that great open field tackle so that he didn't get much yardage.
3rd down and 7. You see Missouri only 3 chances on 3rd down so far, 1 for 3. Let's see if they can continue to improve on that percentage. Pistol formation, 4 wide receivers set. Dropping back to pass is Chalakovich. Throwing it to Ziegler again out of the backfield. And man, that man fights for every yard he gets, and he fights for a first down right there.
You're not lying, and I think he used his size to an advantage right there. He was able to kind of just power forward and fall past that first down marker to reset the chains.
Jal Avery with his 6th tackle on the game as play action pass for Chalakovich, throwing it over the middle, but another interception. Great coverage from the Aggies, bringing this one back and finally shoved out of bounds. And that's going to be one that Chalakovich wishes he could have back.
Great job by Aguilar to jump up and make that interception. Like we had been talking about, both of these defenses are kind of in their rhythm right now, and they're heating up, and it's turning into a great defensive battle since both offenses coming off of these turnovers couldn't turn those into any points.
Texas A&M, their best field position to start a drive so far tonight. Terrell Allen with 1 in the backfield, ready to lead his team down the field. Got to cut this lead down a little bit. Play action pass, throwing it deep down the sideline. Great pass, but not able to get his feet inbounds.
I love the play call there. They shot, as close as they could to the end zone. They came off hot right off that interception, and it was a great throw. He just couldn't keep his feet.
2nd and 10, I formation here. Play action pass, back to back here. Allen looking for space, but the defender gets up and makes him pay for it. Huge play there from Payne, and 3rd and 18 coming up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he was doing with. That's just great effort by Payne right there to get knocked down and, keep going until he hears that whistle right there. I would have expected Allen to know better and try to throw that ball away as soon as he saw Allen get up. As soon as he saw Payne get up.
Yeah, dangerous play there just to sit in the pocket. Looked like there were a couple of guys that might have had a little bit of space too, so maybe just wasn't able to see those open guys as they're just going to go for a draw play here. Not much going there, and they're going to punt it away yet again.
I'm not really sure I agree with that play call there. You're down, 3rd and 18 and you need to make up some yardage, you're outside of field goal zone, and you just kind of hand it up the middle to Grigsby. I don't know. I just didn't like the play call.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, there's a lot of things you could have done there. You know, at least make an effort to get to that first down marker, but that play, not really exactly what they drew it up to be. But Missouri still, even though the last couple of drives they haven't scored much, they still got that 14-point lead.
Nothing doing there. We'll see, obviously, if they can kind of come out. They've stalled the last couple drives, and obviously, you know, Chalakovich is getting shaken and rattled up, throwing some interceptions. So he's got to settle down in the pocket and make these passes count.
Got to have a quick memory, and that's a good start to it. Stone Bryant, first play, and another first down.
They need to keep that momentum, roll it into here. They've got plenty of time leading into half, you know, over almost 2.5 minutes. They can definitely make something happen, and the ball's in their court.
3 wide receiver set here, faking it to Ziegler, play action pass. Chalakovich got some time, throwing it, lofts it over the middle, and just not able to hold on to it there. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I think if you get your hands on the ball like that, especially with a drive when you're trying to, you know, slam it down the other team's throat, you really got to do what you can to try to bring that ball in. Maybe it was the rain.
Another play action pass as the corner screen comes, but they make them pay for it. Huge play there. Stone Bryant been a big part of this drive.
Absolutely, and he's obviously taken a page out of the Cease book and making that great slant towards the middle of the field, and Chalakovich is just abusing it yet again.
If it keeps working, you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Missouri is not trying to fix it at this moment. Continue to let it go, and it's continuing to work. Still only 51 yards to go to the end zone now with over 2 minutes left, 3 timeouts, so the clock not an issue right now as they go for a quick screen but don't want to give it away, as that one was a dangerous throw.
Great awareness by Clatarius White in order to try to get his hand up there and disrupt the pass. I think if he had a little bit less awareness, it would have probably went right over his helmet and they would have came away with a first down.
They're trying it yet again here, but just not on the same page with the receiver. Back-to-back screens, back-to-back incompletions.
Yet another play I don't like. If the first one didn't work out, I don't think you were going to fool the defense with that second one, especially making an incomplete pass like that to seemingly nobody.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. If it is broke, fix it, right? I mean, if you need to, do something. So let's see what they do here. As over the middle, yet again, they've been abusing it all night. Who else? Huge play there from Stone Bryant to get them down close to the red zone.
Yeah, this is definitely Stone Bryant's drive. He's doing everything, and like I said, he's, you know, almost mimicking identical to Cease. He's running these slant routes nice and easy. They're not waiting, you know, for these 40-yard pickups, and they're definitely running these to almost perfection.
Yeah, it seems like the quarterback's read right now is just Bryant and Cease. Just look at back and forth at them. One of them's going to get open at some point, throw it to him, make it happen, and it's worked so far. You can see 16 first downs to Texas A&M's 7, and the scoreboard shows it as well. 5 wide receivers here on this play. One comes in motion, that's Ziegler, as they set up. Empty backfield, throwing the screen. The blocks just don't set up there. Ziegler, though, trying to make a move. The Texas A&M defense closes in, 2nd and 10.
Good awareness by the Texas A&M defense. Obviously, they made sure that Ziegler got no room to run or anything like that, but I think Chalakovich needs to settle down a little bit and try to take shots at the end zone instead of these short screen passes.
Aguilar with his 8th tackle on the day, as there it is again, over the middle. Great play. Cease now gets his first on the drive, 19 yards.
I'd be willing to bet the next one goes to Bryant, and he goes over a corner route into the end zone.
I bet a lot of money it'd be one of the two. Let's see what it is. It's going to be a play-action pass. Looking for space is Chalakovich. Finding somebody there. Is it caught? It's Alex Morris proving us both wrong. Touchdown on the sideline, and Missouri extends the lead.
And that is a lesson not to bet, because we both would have lost, like you said.
And they're going to review it here. Let's see if he got his feet in bounds. See what the refs can do here. What do you think, Ryan?
Oh, I don't think, let's see, it looked like his left foot was down, and then obviously when he grabbed the ball, his right foot came out of bounds. Okay.
The refs are going to agree with it. Whether we agree or not, he is in bounds. Touchdown stands. As you see the fans boo, but they're Texas A&M, they're going to do that. It's going against them, so obviously you get some boos there, but big scope of the drive there was 7 points at the end of it. So Missouri now 28 to 7, 21-point lead here with only a minute left for Texas A&M to score.
Texas A&M obviously has their backs up against the wall here, but they do have plenty of time. You can see that obviously both offenses are comfortable with these quick slant routes over the middle and closing a lot of ground quickly. You just got to make sure that Terrell Allen is obviously making good decisions and doesn't throw an interception here, trying to get these vital points going into half.
We've seen the routes over the middle work all night. They go to one right there. Meekins gets 10 yards. They give him the first down.
First reception by Meekins, and obviously it comes up with a first down so they can reset the change and move quickly. Not mad at that play call.
Yeah, really good play call there. They got to continue to do that same thing. Dropping back is Allen. Got some time. Quick throw here. I don't know if you should be looking that short when you only have a little bit of time left.
I agree with you, man. I think they need to be looking more towards the end zone, and if they're going to do these, quick slant routes, they need to do them to the outside so they can get run out of bounds and stop the clock.
Exactly. As they don't learn their lesson, they're not listening to us, Ryan. Over the middle yet again.
If it's broke, fix it, Texas A&M.
If it is broke, try to fix it, and they haven't yet. Let's see what they continue to do. They've still got 40 seconds, still got a timeout in their back pocket. This time, throw over the middle, gets them enough for a first down. The clock will reset here.
I think maybe the offensive coordinator's got his play call book stuck on just these quick slants over the middle because they keep just spamming them.
1st and 10. Time still running, though, and they're still on their own side of the field. So got to move quickly here. Allen decides he's going to take his big feet up, pick them up, and run. Lots of space there. Running some dudes over. You'll take it. 27 yards and a first down.
Absolutely. They obviously, Missouri had them pegged for the pass, and he made them pay, but boy, can that big guy move down there.
That was not an earthquake, guys. Allen was just taking off for a run. Don't worry. 18 seconds left, and they're letting a lot of time tick off here. I don't know why they're not moving quicker. Throwing it, dangerous pass, but that one falls incomplete. Clock will stop.
Dangerous pass, and maybe not to the right receiver, but I like that effort looking towards the end zone.
As overall Twitch, Bama extending their lead. Another touchdown, 58 points to 10 right now. Big lead over there. Texas A&M continuing to try to move here. Another first down, 8 seconds. Got to go quick.
We're getting into that dangerous territory there. They do have that one final timeout, though, so we'll see if they manage to get the play here.
They are letting precious seconds tick off the clock. Allen looking down, throwing over the middle, tackled, but they get the timeout in. 1 second left.
I guess, when it rains, it pours clearly down there, but they were able to get that, miraculous second here. Let's see if they can come up with some points.
Texas A&M coach on the sideline just ready and waiting to tell timeout to the ref, and it ends up in 3 points. So at half, Missouri Tigers leading 28-10 over the Texas A&M Aggies. Ryan, it started off with a lot of offense, and then it ended up kind of slowing down. The defense has had a lot of good plays there in the second quarter. Tell the people what they missed if they didn't see that first half.
You missed a lot of explosive over-the-middle passing and quick slant routes for both of these offenses. But I think the main takeaway from here is that obviously Missouri's a lot more comfortable with their game tempo right there. It's been a Cease and Bryant show all day. I don't think Texas A&M has had an answer for it. It's good that Texas A&M were able to close out that quarter and get some points there. They're not, the game's not away from them. They've still got that time, but they need to make those necessary adjustments to take Cease and Bryant out of the game, I think, if this Texas A&M defense wants to stand, for the next 2 quarters toe-to-toe.
And I think we've seen 18-point leads disappear really quickly. As you look at the stat lines, pretty similar across the board. Missouri leading in the yardage a little bit, but I think if you look at the scoreboard, you got to realize whichever team you are, it's still anybody's game, so you got to come out and execute.
Absolutely, and we'll see. Like I said, it comes down to those second half adjustments, and pressure's on for Texas A&M to start scoring some points and closing this gap against Missouri.
Exactly, and they are lucky, get some points right before the half, and now you get to bring your offense right back out, try to get some more points, get 2 good drives in a row to cut this lead down. Let's see how they elect to start. We'll have a little bunch formation there up top, handing it off up the middle. Really solid run, good blocking, and a good run from Grigley.
There's that explosive run that we saw Grigley do earlier in the first quarter, and I think once or twice in the second quarter, that rest must have done him some good.
1st and 10. Really good start to the drive here. Texas A&M trying to take back momentum slowly but surely. 3 wide receiver set. Allen back to throw. Finds an open man over the middle. That's Jafari Davis, 9 yards and a good play.
Great job by Davis making sure that he's able to get out and open. He's averaging about 9 yards a carry, as you saw from the scroll down there. And Texas A&M is on the move, and I'm liking their tempo.
Close to midfield now, and 2nd and 1. They'll go right back to the run. Grigley does exactly what he needs to do. Gets a first down.
I love the call, and it forces that chain reset like we had spoken about. He was able to pick up that nice short yardage. We knew he wasn't probably going to make it, and break it down to the end zone, but he did exactly what he needed.
And they're working off the play action here, and it worked. They did have an open man there, but good job defensively to knock it out of his hands.
great pressure by that Missouri defense. It comes down to those hard hits. You know, it doesn't matter if the wide receiver has the ball in his hands or not. If you get hit hard enough, you're going to have a chance to jar that ball loose.
The senior Johnny Tipton with the big hit to force that one out as they go back to the run game. And Grigley, like you said earlier, 9 yards a carry, or now his average dropping down a little bit here, but it's been working. The run game successfully, especially here on this drive, still been working.
Grigley's obviously got his awareness still. He's not as groggy, you know, heading into that second half after that rest. He made some good cuts upfield, and that could have been a bad gain, you know, that he turned into a positive play.
Setting up for the screen here on 3rd down and 5. Just looking for some blocks to set up, trying to make it happen on his own. Can't do it. Good play from Missouri to chop him down behind the line.
Grigley's great when it comes to his awareness, like we've been talking about, and obviously he's got that speed, but when it comes to these, you know, much larger defenders, he might be able to take 1 or 2, but he definitely can't take 4 or 5.
Can't do it there. As Missouri getting a lot of white hats on the ball there. Good job defensively as Texas A&M not wanting to punt it away, but you got to in this scenario. Back to Missouri. Got to see if Missouri's found a little bit more ground here. Got to get their offense back to the way it was earlier.
It does, and I just want to quickly let Aaron Eichenberg know from chat, it is Rage that you hear in the booth.
Glad you're here, Rage, or Ryan, either one.
Either one.
We are glad
works.
that you are here. 1st and 10. Missouri, Chalakovich back to throw over the middle. We've seen it all night. This time it's Bastille LaRue. He says, okay, I want to run the in route. It's my turn, and he gets a good one there for a first.
Texas A&M's worst nightmare, right? They're going to put all that pressure trying to cover Cease and Bryant, and then LaRue says, okay, but you forgot about me, and he's going to make them pay just as well.
Good tackle there from Spencer Clapp. Over the middle, trying to stay in coverage, and brings him down, so good tackle from him. 1st and 10. Close to midfield now. Missouri trying to move quickly. They're going to hand it off to Ziegler. Looking for a hole. Can't find one and gets brought down behind the line.
Yeah, there was nothing really going there. Obviously, Texas A&M kind of snuffed that out from the get-go, and Clapp was able to make them pay and get no yardage gain for them.
2nd and 13 upcoming for the Tigers. Moving backwards on the last play, but still been a good drive so far. Delayed handoff on this one. Stumbling forward, trying to get some yards is Ziegler, but a really good open field tackle there.
Missouri's defense has done really well, obviously giving this offense some opportunities to make something happen, but Texas A&M's defense just coming out there with almost a little bit more gusto on this drive, trying to force another turnover.
Press coverage from the defenders here as he throws again to Ziegler out of the backfield, trying to get Ziegler involved, but he just wasn't setting up. Texas A&M, good job defending it. Punting it away, 4th and 7 here. Jai Avery, his 7th tackle of the game. He is all over the field tonight. And Missouri going to get another chance to punt it away, play it on defense. Texas A&M going to let that one roll into the end zone. But what does Texas A&M do? What has worked for them to get them points tonight, Ryan?
Obviously, they've been kind of mimicking and copying what Missouri's been doing with those quick slants that are out over the middle. Allen's made some great attempts to throw downfield. I think they need to look downfield a little bit more. They obviously have enough time in the pocket, and they need to, be looking for these longer passes like you just saw.
Well, right as you say it, they read our minds. John Rodriguez, huge play for his first catch of the game. 26 yards, big play for the Aggies.
That's exactly what they needed. It keeps the chains going. It's a huge game for them. It puts them around about midfield. And if they can score on this drive, obviously they bring it back into a 2-possession game.
Got to be impressed with the offenses here. Long plays like that in the rain and with a lot of wind. Got to be impressive for both teams. But they're going to keep it on the ground on this play, handing it up the middle. That's Grigley, and he gets back to a good game.
Grigley's been a workhorse for this offense, obviously. If they're not going to throw it to the air, they're going to hand it off to him. And we had spoken, obviously, he started off really well with about 9 yards average per gain, and that's slowly dwindling, but he's still getting these chips and these gains of yardage when they need it.
Big throw here from Allen, but that one sails out of bounds, incomplete. 3rd down and 5 coming up right here.
I'm not mad at the attempt, obviously, you see, but Johnny Tipton for Missouri is all over the place on both sidelines and is great, in his pass defense here.
Dropping back, they need 5, and they're going to get way more than that. Rodriguez, another great catch, 2nd on the drive, 1st and 10.
Keep the momentum up and obviously keep those chains moving. Missouri seems kind of off balance a little bit. They can't really be sure what the Texas A&M offense is going to call here, and Allen needs to capitalize that to try to get these points.
And a run on this one. One broken tackle from Grigley. That'll earn him 3 yards. Is over on Twitch. Alabama still pouring on the points. 65-10 at the start of the fourth quarter is the score over there. So Alabama trying to continue to hold up that number 2 ranking in the country, as we got 2 teams still in a battle over here on YouTube. Back-to-back handoffs. Wrigley gets it again, and 3rd down and 2 is a really good situation to be in.
Yeah, this game has roughly, under half of what their game has already over there. Alabama seems to just be running the scores up on them.
They are on offense as well over there, but Texas A&M still only down 18 right here, trying to fight their way back into it. And Wrigley putting it on his own shoulders. He's doing it all by himself right now.
This is Wrigley's drive. Obviously, he has great awareness there. Good job by that Texas A&M O-line to give him those blocking and the holes that he needed. And he made a great decision and got some great yardage from it.
Handoff again. What a move there. That juke was crazy. Earns him 7 more yards.
That juke was exactly what they needed to kind of throw some life into that. And good job by Breaker, obviously, coming up there with his 5th tackle of the game.
Good run there. The run game continuing to work on this drive. They're going to mix in a little bit of a pass here. Allen throwing to the sideline. Got a wide open man, and Meekins able to stretch over the 1st down marker.
Good awareness by Meekins, being able to keep his feet in bounds. And Texas A&M is doing exactly what they need to do. They're confident, they're calm, and they're collected, and they really need to get some points here.
Definitely got to get points. Back-to-back scoring drives would be really good for them here as Wrigley going to run here. Missouri learns a little bit on this one, only allows a yard.
He's not going to get too many of those breakaway runs like that. He's been chipping it away all game like we've seen. And like you said, that Missouri defensive line is just too tough right now.
2nd and 9. Back to pass again. Here, throwing it to the back of the end zone. Great throw, and goes up to grab it. Touchdown, Aggies. And just like that, Texas A&M making this a game.
That Allen's Meekins connection is exactly what they needed. Great jump by Meekins and able to make sure that he had that ball. It was obviously thrown a little bit over his head, but he said, no problem, I've got that verticality to grab that down. And Texas A&M answers in a critical time.
Meekins, 5 catches, 54 yards last week. Getting his first touchdown here tonight in this game. Congratulations to the freshman. Big-time plays there out of him so far. But if you're Missouri, you know you can make the plays because you've already done it here tonight. You just got to get back to what works.
We'll see if they can settle down. Like you said, it's kind of seems like Missouri's been the one that's stumbled out and kind of fizzed out almost in a way as they ran the score up real quick to 21, but they've really struggled to get those last 8 points as Texas A&M has been able to score 10 points on them and close that gap.
Yeah, only an 11-point ball game now, so anybody's ball game with less than half of the 3rd quarter left. So still got a whole quarter coming after this as throwing it out of the backfield. Ziegler for the catch, 6 yards to start the drive.
Absolutely. As Matt G said in chat there, he said he called the game 28-24 earlier before the game started, and he is on track to make that right if Texas A&M defense can hold up and keep forcing these turnovers from this Missouri offense.
Well, if he gets the score right, I will promise to give him absolutely nothing. So let's all hope that he can get that just for the bragging rights. But another good catch here. Alex Morris, 4th on the game, 1st and 10.
Boy, I was going to give him like a real good, crisp high five.
Okay, there you go. That's an even better offer. So Matt G now a high five. Exactly. High five on the line right now. This is Vicky shaking in the chat. That's a deal. He'll take it. They're moving backwards here. Missouri, good play defensively for Texas A&M. 2nd and 11 coming up.
Good job by Root to get into the backfield there and make Ziegler play. He was a little bit smaller, but he needed to go down underneath his legs and able to take him out.
5 wide set. Going empty in the backfield is Chalakovich. As Ziegler comes in motion here. Looks like they might be setting up that screen. They do it, but Texas A&M reads it like a children's book. That's going backwards again.
I hate it.
Bad. Just bad.
Yeah, when it works, and it seems like it breaks the game mechanics and they can run down there and do what they want, but I just hate that play call specifically right there, especially with Missouri's inability to, get a lot of yardage on these 2nd downs, forcing these 3rd and longs.
Terrell Allen checking in chat. Your team's making it a ball game right now, but the defense needing to stop, and they get a huge play right there. Good catch there by Terry Williams, but forcing Missouri to punt it away.
Good hustle by Williams, and obviously you can see Chalakovich is still having himself a game with his stats, but Avery was right there making him pay. He knew well and dandy where that 1st down marker was, and he was going to give his body before he made it there.
Now, I don't know exactly where we stand here. 11-point lead for Missouri, but it seems like Texas A&M got a lot of the momentum right now, Ryan.
Texas A&M, I would argue, has all the momentum right here. I don't think Missouri has scored. Obviously, we just saw them score recently, but I would say over the drives, if we had a drive comparison pop up, I would say they were scoring on maybe 20% of their drives right now after they scored their first 21. So the ball's in Texas A&M's court. They need to keep that momentum rolling, and if they score here, that's huge.
Definitely would be big. That's the last 2 scoring drives have been both for Texas A&M. So if they can get a third, that would be huge. Because it looks like a safety blitz coming down from the bottom from Missouri. Let's see if he actually decides to do it. They are. Let's see if Allen can get it off. Great pass right behind the coverage. And that blitz comes, you got to throw it right over him, and he does a good job to find the man.
I hate the screens, but I love these quick slant routes over the middle. It's been abused all game, and you think you'd be tired of it watching these plays happen, but Rodriguez was so wide open and made such a beautiful run after he had that catch. It's perfection.
Finney with the tackle there to cut him down for not as much as he could have got. He had a lot of space there, so good tackle from Finney there to chop it down short. 1st and 10 for Allen and the Aggies. Throwing this one, long loft of a pass, trying to make Meekins work for it. He only able to get a yard.
Good hustle by Meekins, but honestly, I'm not sure if I would have ever, ran back for the ball. I would have just let it fall behind me and just taken the 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he did have to run a long way to earn that 1 yard. So Allen now trying to scramble around, make some space, but just good protection and good blitz there. Chopped it down short.
I would have liked to see the big man with his T-Rex legs kind of roll to the outside there. He could have probably easily picked up that first down, but you live and you learn, I guess.
3rd and 9, a minute left here in the 3rd quarter. Allen looking for an open man. Great quick pass to the sideline. Jafari Davis is there. Huge play on 3rd down to convert.
Absolutely. Jafari Davis heating up. That was his 5th reception. He's now over 50 yards for the game, and he's making these plays count when they're obviously down a bit, 3rd and long. And Texas A&M's still maintaining that driver's seat. They've got about a minute left here in the 3rd quarter, and they're doing exactly what they need to do to try to, score some points off this drive.
28-17, your score right now. Missouri's still leading, but like Ryan said, a lot of momentum right now with Texas A&M. They're going to go back to the run game here. Grigley gets them a couple.
Not mad at it. We obviously have been talking about Grigley quite a lot this game. He's definitely a workhorse, and he's going to get that forward momentum. And as we've said a couple times, forward momentum is better than going backwards.
Dre Breaker there for his 6th tackle on the night. Good play there, right close to the line of scrimmage. As another throw over the middle, J.B. Bell gets another catch. 3rd and 3 coming up.
Madison Nicole in chat says that she feels that a pick is coming, and she might be right, as we haven't seen an interception for quite some time.
You're right. We saw like 3 interceptions, like back to back to back, right before the half. And now we haven't seen anything. So let's see if Madison can speak it into existence here. But Allen's going to try to do everything to avoid that. 10 seconds left here as he's going to hand it off. Lots of space around the end for Grigley. 4 yards. That's enough for another 1st down.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it for Texas A&M as far as the run game goes. Grigley's doing exactly what he needs to do, and again, credit to that Texas A&M O-line down there, making sure that he's got the blocks and can make those plays happen.
Throw your 4s up in chat. Everybody get excited. We got a close one here as Texas A&M driving to score. 28-17, the Tigers leading right now. Stay tuned. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports here on YouTube. Start of the 4th quarter, and we've got Texas A&M closing the gap here, trying to score some more points. Another handoff up the middle, fighting for yards is Grigley. He's done a good job on this drive. He gets 4 there.
If we get 24s in chat, I'll give you a rage fact.
Okay, 24s in chat. If I don't see 24s, I'm going to be upset. I need my first rage fact of the night, or I'm going to throw a fit. So let's see if we can get it. As another run play here, Grigley kind of running side to side instead of running forward. Only gets a yard there. Or loses one, actually.
Yeah, the person who should be throwing a fit down there is Watkins, as his O-line absolutely failed him right there, as that Missouri defense just swarmed him, and it was not a very good one.
We got a lot of 4s coming up in chat. You didn't say it had to be 20 different people. As a strike came to John Rodriguez, 23 yards there. It'll be 1st and goal for the Aggies there. Well, a lot of 4s coming up in chat. I don't want to go through and count them there, Ryan.
Oh, no, I think we're definitely way past 20, and they're abusing the system, but you can't be mad when the rules aren't very clear. So once this drive's over and we see if Texas A&M scores, I'll give you that fact that you guys deserve.
Come on here. It's Texas A&M trying to close out the drive with more points. They've done really good, this offense. Coming alive here in the 2nd half. It's going to be handoff to the fullback, trying to sneak in, and Eugene Curtis does it. Touchdown, Texas A&M, and all the momentum with the Aggies now.
All the momentum with the Aggies. That's a perfect play call right there. I love the fullback run. I don't think Missouri was really expecting that at all because he hasn't touched the ball all game. And Texas A&M is definitely in a great position to turn this ball game around.
They're going for two. They want to make this a 3-point ball game, and I don't blame them. As Allen, they're going to put it in his hands, trying to make a play, throwing it to the end zone. Great catch. Joe Steve, 3-yard reception there, right into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
This is exactly what you needed, almost kind of like that final fire that they needed to keep it going. And all of a sudden, we've got 3 points to go, and Texas A&M has slowly creeped up with Missouri only gaining 7 points on them.
All right. What you got, Rage, for us for the Rage Fact? Give it to the people.
All right. I'll start you off with something easy since you haven't ever done anything, but I'm going to ask if you're a Disney fan.
I'm a Disney fan, of course.
Okay, everybody likes Minnie Mouse, right?
Of course.
Did you know that's not her real name?
I did not know that was not her real name. What is her real name?
Her real name is actually Minerva, and it was given to her by Walt Disney and of Iwerks, but it's their nickname that they use, so it's actually rarely ever used, if ever. But yeah, there you go. Her real name's Minerva, not Minnie.
You learn something every day. I thought her name was Minnie Mouse. I thought that was written on the birth certificate. Apparently not. As Missouri, they don't even care. They're running here 6 yards on that reception. A couple of good plays, 3rd and 4 coming up.
You might hate that fact, Tyrone Hall, but I had to do it because Missouri has an M in it. Minnie or Minerva has an M in it, so it was just meant to be.
It was meant to be written in the clouds as Missouri setting up your favorite play, the screen. But it seems like they've known how to make it work a couple of times tonight.
Hey, when you throw the screen 99 times, at least one of the times it's going to work out. And I think Missouri has about 3 of the next 99 attempts on there as they've only got it to work, 3 times. But it was a great play call. It worked out to their favor.
Got to get some momentum back on offense here. The last few drives, we've talked about it, they just stalled out. So got to get some momentum going. And it looks like a good start to the drive here as this catch for Terry Williams will put him right at the 50.
Great choice by Chalakovich to dump it off to Williams right there. He hasn't been super active. You saw he only had 3 passes. He had only 3 receptions right there, but it's what they needed to set up a 2nd and short.
2nd and 3 here, right at midfield, like we said, throwing the screen here. That one gets a couple for Cease, but still 3rd and 1 upcoming.
As Tyrone Hall just put in chat, got 99 problems and a screen worked once.
That one time, and the other 99 problems are the screen not working. So crazy play there for Missouri to only have a few of them that have worked. So got to give them credit there. They're making it happen every once in a while. But Steve Cease here, another catch, 7 yards, 1st down. Missouri continues to move well.
There's the man for Cease. He had been kind of quiet there in the 3rd quarter. Obviously, all eyes were towards the other receivers and not Grigley, because Grigley's at Texas A&M. But Chalakovich needs to do a good job spreading the ball like he does there to another
huge
open
play,
receiver.
Throwing it all the way. Bastille LaRue trying to fight into the end zone, but he gets close. That's the play Missouri needed right there, 1st and goal.
LaRue did a great job. Obviously, Texas A&M had kind of saw that play prior to Cease, and they kind of zoned in on him and then left LaRue wide open, and he definitely made them pay.
What a play there. That's what they needed. As you can see, they've gotten 4 touchdowns in the red zone, so pretty good up to this point. Got to continue to do it here as Texas A&M making it a game. So looking for an open man, able to get it off. Touchdown. Gabriel Ziegler in the end zone. Great pass from Chalakovich, and they extend this lead.
Welcome to the game, Missouri. We thought you were sleeping for a little bit. We're glad you woke up and decided to answer with some points. Where was Missouri that entire 3rd quarter?
I don't know. They took the 3rd quarter off, but luckily they still had the lead, and now it's extended to 10 as we've got a final score over on Twitch. The Crimson Tide scoring 78 points in that game. It was all Alabama there towards the end, so 78-10 final score over there on Twitch as we've got a good play here for the Aggies running down the sideline, finally shoved out of bounds. What a return from Rodriguez.
Rodriguez said, okay, we see you, Missouri, finally waking up, trying to get those points. And he says, I'm going to get my team back in it like that with a phenomenal kick return. And they need to capitalize off this for a quick touchdown.
Anybody's game right now with 6 minutes left, but that's not going to help them. Grigley, no room on that run play.
I don't like the play call. I would have much rather have seen them try to do, long slant routes or even some 4 verts to try to get to the end zone right off that big momentum drive.
35-25, your score right now as Texas A&M trying to close this gap back down to 3, just trying to get any points they can at this point. as Allen throwing it over the middle. Those have been open all night. This one goes to Curtis, 12 yards and a first down.
I think I might actually try to buy some of that real estate that's open down there in the middle of that field because there's absolutely nobody in it. It looks like a very quiet neighborhood.
Yeah, if you're looking for some acreage, it is there in the middle of the field. Just check between some Missouri linebackers, but they're going to run it on this one. 3 yards for Grigley, 2nd and 7 upcoming after the run play.
I have a question for you. Do you think if Texas A&M comes away with 3 points here, that's kind of the start of their demise? Or do you think like a touchdown is absolutely detrimental?
I don't think the touchdown's absolutely necessary. I think you get any points right here. It's really on the defense as they're throwing right to the goal line. John Rodriguez, they don't want 3. They want 7 points right here.
Absolutely, and great job by Rodriguez for getting open. He obviously set his team up great with that awesome kick return that he had. And he wanted that touchdown, but he had to come back for it a little bit. Obviously, Allen felt the pressure. Great time and great blocking by that offensive line to give Allen that time he needed to set them up for a real quick first and goal.
This has been a super close game. You can tell just by the stat lines. Yardage is pretty similar. Everything's kind of evenly matched up. Texas A&M trying to take the lead here as Allen caught in the backfield. Took a little while to get that big man down on the ground, but he finally got him.
Absolutely, and I'm going to be honest there. I did not like that decision to take it to the outside. If he kept it inside like that, he would have had a clear and easy, 4-yard run up the middle.
Maybe a little bit of a rough read there for Allen, but it's okay. It's still 2nd and goal right here. Still got a chance to put up 6. So let's see what they elect to do here. It's going to be a delayed handoff, but Missouri just gets so much pressure. They're all back there.
Yeah, you can't sleep on that Missouri defense. Obviously, they might give up some plays like that, and they maybe have been shaken from that kick return that came back all that way. But don't test that Missouri defense because they definitely have the men in the box and the pressure to bring it.
Ben Nord with the huge tackle for loss right there, but Allen trying to make up for it. Throwing it over the middle, just not enough room for Grigley. What would you do here? Touchdown? Go for the touchdown or go for the field goal?
I would take the points, honestly, because if you go for the field goal and you go up 28, you're obviously, like you said, it's so back and forth that they should be able to go, but it looks like they're going for it.
They are going for it. Let's see if they can make it happen, but great coverage. Silas Riggs is there to knock it away. That's a huge blow for Texas A&M with only 4 minutes left in this game.
Huge blow, exactly like you had just said. With it being so close and almost a potential interception like that could have been ran back for just as much yardage as that kick return was. It's not something you want to gamble with this late. I think taking the 3 points, definitely was the more solid move.
Dang, tough play there. Texas A&M offense got to be frustrated after that one, as now Missouri gets a chance to try to put this ball game away with not much time left in the game, as they're going to go with an empty set here to start. Quick, fakes the screen. Now he's looking downfield. Wide open over the middle as he's got tons of room. Huge play there in Missouri. They want to put some more points on the board.
The man, the myth, the legend, Cease comes up again. He only has 10 receptions this game, but every time this man touches the football, he makes ginormous plays and flips everything in Missouri's favor. They've got it now. They've got just under 4 minutes to go. They're leading, and they know they can take this field and shrink it so that they can score more, and they're completely in control of this football game right now.
All the control, like you said, for the Tigers right now. Chalakovich going to throw this one out of the backfield. Larson gets 3 there and gets out of bounds.
If I was Missouri, I wouldn't be trying to stop the clock there. I like to, trying to get the play to like we said, those sideline plays are, a bit risky because you're trying to keep yourself in bounds, but I'm definitely trying to make sure that we're taking as much time off the clock from running as we can.
Exactly, and you run the football here, and Texas A&M needs 2 different drives here. I mean, they're 10 points down, so anytime you take off the clock right now is a win. So they're trying their best, but that one was a throwaway, so the clock stopped there. So now 3rd and 7. They're going to try to continue to extend the drive, but Texas A&M needed their defense to come up big. Latarius White does it.
I don't understand the play call for that. You haven't seen Ziegler's name called once on an entire drive. Obviously, Cease made that huge play to set them up on that side of the 50, just shy, looked like almost 49. But I give it to Ziegler. He's a big guy. He's obviously very strong, and he definitely would have probably, given him a first down.
Good tackle there on the return to make them have a long drive here. 3.5 minutes left. It seems like you got to go to those middle of the field passes or those long passes here with not much time left.
We'll see if Texas A&M makes a little bit better coaching decisions right there. Obviously, they missed out on 3 points, almost threw an interception going forward on 4th. They need to settle down and really come away on this drive specifically with 7 points.
We got some people in chat saying they need some points to be scored for the sports book. Let's see if they can make it happen right here. 1st and 10. Allen back to pass, and he's got time, but finally the pressure's starting to get there. Nobody open downfield. He had all the time in the world, but couldn't find anybody.
Yeah, Allen's got to do a better job, obviously, than that. He knew that he had that pressure. He felt it. He was running. He escaped one, and he had all the time, like you said, to even just throw the ball away so they're not facing a 2nd and long.
Kyle Payne, the senior, with his 2nd sack of the night. Couldn't have come at a bigger time here in the football game, as Allen now going to start this one under center. One in the backfield with him. Man comes in motion. 3 wide receiver set. Dropping back to pass is Allen. Looking for somebody open, but this pressure from Missouri is just relentless. Huge play, back-to-back sacks.
Do or die time for this Missouri defense, and they're showing up when it matters most. You can see the cohesion that they have down there and that tenacity that they're bringing down there to that O-line to be able to break through and put much-needed pressure on the quarterback.
From what I'm seeing, the point spread is 10.5 in this game, so that's why people are needing some more points from the Tigers. So trying to make it happen are the Missouri defense. Let's see if they can continue to do it here. Allen throwing it over the middle, but just nothing going there. It looks like Finney has been all over the field, 12 tackles there, and gets in the way of that one.
Finney's doing a great job, obviously, coming up with that. Looked like that pass deflection, I think, credited with. But I don't really know. I'm kind of at a loss of words for that drive specifically. You know, that was almost a do-or-die drive right there for Texas A&M, and they came up short.
Yeah, definitely had to have something there. Not able to do it. As holding on the receiving team, not going to hurt Missouri too much because they're just glad to have the football back to run some of this clock down.
Absolutely. I'd argue it almost helps them out because it gives them a little bit longer time to run the football.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. They got more field to play with now. So with 2.5 minutes left, they are in burn the clock mode. So we'll see Ziegler get some carries here, I'm sure. And they'll start it off, handing it off to him. Up the middle, looking for space. Breaks one tackle, but good job for the Texas A&M defense to force him backwards.
Not even mad at that. You just saw how big and commanding he is down there, and it takes almost 4 Texas A&M defenders to take him down. And more importantly, got that clock rolling.
Under 2 minutes now in this ballgame. Missouri trying to close this one out. 3 wide receiver set, but they're just going to hand it off to Ziegler up the middle. Good job to find a hole, and good job for Texas A&M to finally drag him down. First timeout comes off the board.
They've got 1:49 left. They're doing exactly what they need to do. Keep feeding Ziegler and close this game out, like you said.
Need a first down, and they are going to get it. Huge run. He ran a straight line down the field for 11 yards. Huge play there for the Tigers.
Ziegler's on the sideline watching Grigley run for Texas A&M and taking a page out of his own book, running straight up the middle with that good O-line blocking to set their team up, that much closer to this victory.
Another great run. The blocks are setting up. Ziegler's hitting the hole. It's working on all cylinders right now, and that's the last thing you want if you're Texas A&M, especially now. No timeouts left, so this is all you got. The time on the clock is that's it. So another handoff up the middle as Ziegler gets a break. Travis Clark here for 7.
Not mad with that little sub right there. Ziegler's doing a lot on this drive, making sure that he's keeping the ball moving, getting to that drive, and give him a little bit of air, give him a break right there as Clark picked up yet another good rush, as this has been, the rushing drive that they needed.
Going up the middle again is Ziegler, fighting off defenders. 4 yards there, and all they need to do is run off a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Missouri did exactly what they needed to do, especially on that critical last possession that Texas A&M did, and they were able to come away with the victory tonight.
Lining it up for, obviously, yet another run play coming. Up the middle, another first down, fighting forward. Ziegler's just got all the space in the world, and that might be the last play of this ballgame, but the run working so far on this drive.
Absolutely.
And that will be it. End of the ballgame as Missouri going to close it out with a victory. Huge end of the game for them as they close it out. Ryan, break it down for us. What did Missouri do right to get this dub?
I think the playmakers in this team, obviously, Shalakovich looked a little bit more poised than Allen did, and I think the major difference between these two teams was this Missouri wide receiver core. They have such big, they have such big targets in Grigsby and Cease, and it's crazy to see just kind of how close they were, but they were able to kind of swing that momentum, and then whenever you covered those guys, they were able to turn around and give it to somebody else, and they just had too many weapons on offense compared to Texas A&M.
Great win there as you see Chalakovich, the player of the game with 3 touchdowns. He had a huge game. But that's going to be it. Final score here from College Station, 35-25. The Tigers get the win. I want to thank our executive producer, Mike Peters, as well as my broadcast partner, Ryan. Thank you for being here, guys. This has been the CFSL here on PX1 Sports here on YouTube. Tune back in tomorrow night for more action on Thursday. We'll see you guys tomorrow.